What you're looking at on your screen isn't an alien spaceship, nor is it a scene from a science fiction movie. This is Apple Park, the one creation Steve Jobs envisioned that no one will ever be able to buy. What's even more surprising is that this headquarters was originally expected to cost around $500 million US. But by the time construction was complete, the price tag had skyrocketed to nearly $5 billion. How could one of the world's biggest companies overspend by such an enormous amount? It sounds unbelievable, but there's much more hidden inside Apple Park than just its staggering price. This futuristic headquarters covers an area roughly equal to 40 football fields. In many ways, it's an entire high-tech city. Everything needed for daily life is built into the campus, including massive cafeterias, state-of-the-art fitness centers, medical facilities, and much more. But here's the most fascinating part. The entire structure is engineered to withstand major earthquakes. Despite its enormous size, Apple Park is powered almost entirely by renewable solar energy. And thanks to its revolutionary design, the building doesn't need air conditioning or heating for nearly 9 months of the year. But how is that even possible? Welcome to Mist Echo. In today's video, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most expensive and fascinating buildings ever constructed. Let's begin.
And we've come up with a design that puts 12,000 people in one building.
This was Steve Jobs' dream, a vision he presented before the Cupertino City Council in 2011. But the dream itself had begun much earlier, in 2004. Jobs wanted to create a workplace where there would be no visible boundary between architecture and nature. Just as Apple's products were designed with simplicity and perfection, he wanted its headquarters to become a masterpiece, one that would inspire companies for decades to come. And in many ways, he achieved exactly that. Sadly, Steve Jobs never lived to see his vision completed.
In October 2011, after handing Apple's leadership over to Tim Cook,
Steve Jobs passed away. What makes the story even more remarkable is the cost. The original estimate for the project was around $500 million, but after 8 years of construction, the final price had skyrocketed to nearly $5 billion, 10 times the original budget. Even more surprising, in 2008, that amount represented only about 2% of Apple's total cash reserves. Today, however, $5 billion is almost insignificant for Apple, one of the world's most valuable companies, worth over $2 trillion. Before construction even began, Apple quietly purchased the land. To stay hidden from competitors, the company kept its identity secret during the negotiations. Even so, acquiring the site cost Apple around $160 million. The 175-acre property had already been purchased before 2008. However, Apple didn't receive permission to begin construction until 2013. The project was led by one of the world's most renowned architects, Norman Foster, the visionary behind some of the most iconic architectural masterpieces ever created. When Apple Park officially opened in 2017, it instantly became one of the most talked about buildings on the planet. People around the world began calling it the spaceship because of its massive circular design. The ring-shaped building offers approximately 2.8 million square feet of office space, comfortably accommodating more than 12,000 employees. It is also home to the world's largest curved glass facade, built using nearly 3,000 giant glass panels. Wide walkways surround both the inside and outside of the building, allowing employees to enjoy the beauty of the campus every time they arrive or leave. But Apple Park is famous for far more than its iconic ring. The campus also includes 2 research and development buildings covering over 300,000 square feet, where around 2,000 engineers work on Apple's future technologies. To support employee health, Apple built a 100,000 square foot wellness center equipped with yoga studios, state-of-the-art fitness equipment, and modern training facilities. The campus also features a visitor center, underground parking, and one of its most legendary attractions, the Steve Jobs Theater. Earlier, we mentioned that the main building appears to float above the ground. So how is that possible? Is it actually suspended in the air? Not quite. Apple Park is built using advanced base isolation technology. The entire structure rests on 692 massive steel isolators that allow the building to move independently during an earthquake. In the event of a major seismic shock, the building can shift up to 4 feet in any direction without suffering structural damage. This Japanese engineering technology is so effective that it can withstand earthquakes exceeding magnitude 8. The same technology was also used beneath the Steve Jobs Theater. From the outside, the theater appears to be nothing more than a stunning glass pavilion with an ultra-thin carbon fiber roof supported by almost invisible glass walls. But the real auditorium lies underground. After taking the stairs or elevator down, visitors enter a spectacular theater capable of seating 1,000 people. Every leather chair reportedly costs around $14,000, proving that almost every every detail inside Apple Park was designed without compromise. In fact, even Apple's pizza boxes are custom designed. Engineers created a patented pizza box with special ventilation that prevents steam from making the crust soggy. It's a small detail, but it perfectly reflects Apple's obsession with design. Perhaps the most fascinating part of Apple Park is hidden in its very name. It's not just an office, it's a park. More than 9,000 trees cover the campus, including apricot, olive, cherry, and of course, apple trees. Steve Jobs wanted employees to work in an environment surrounded by nature, rather than concrete. The result is one of the greenest corporate campuses ever built. The campus is also powered almost entirely by renewable energy. Massive rooftop solar panels generate around 17 megawatts of electricity, helping power the entire facility while reducing its environmental impact. Apple also designed an advanced natural ventilation system that allows fresh air to flow through the building. As a result, indoor temperatures stay between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius for most of the year, meaning air conditioning or heating is rarely needed for nearly 9 months annually. In a way, the building almost seems to breathe on its own. The cafeteria is just as impressive. It can serve around 4,000 people at once, with large outdoor terraces that let employees enjoy their meals surrounded by nature instead of walls. The campus also features a 3.2-kilometer running trail, more than 1,000 bicycles, yoga facilities, multiple fitness centers, and an underground parking garage with space for about 14,000 vehicles, preserving the landscape above. At the center of the campus stands a colorful rainbow monument, inspired by Apple's classic rainbow logo. Nearby is the Apple Visitor Center, where guests can use an iPad with augmented reality to explore a detailed virtual version of Apple Park. The center also showcases Apple's latest products and even preserves one of the original buildings that existed on the property before construction began. Looking at Apple Park today, it's hard to call it just a workplace. It feels more like a self-contained city built for innovation. So after seeing everything Apple created, do you think spending 10 times more than the original budget was a mistake? Or was it a masterpiece worth every dollar? For more fascinating videos like this, subscribe to Mist Echo and discover the world's most incredible mysteries and untold stories.